Good morning, family, and welcome to Morning Heart Devotion with Dr. Yong, brought to you by our Heavenly Parents Holy Community. Let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 천지엔 참부모님께 경배 바로. Now for our family pledge, 가정맹세. 1. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇族권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천혜의국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천혜의국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 시린의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. And to open us up with prayer this morning, I'd like to invite up Mr. Don Kuwahara.
Please join me in prayer. Dearest Heavenly Parents, this beautiful Sunday morning, we all get together this morning to welcome Dr. Yong and morning devotion. We are so grateful to you, Heavenly Parents, that you revealed your truth through true parents and your identity, and telling us you are parents and we are all children. Regardless who we are, what they are, we are all your children and brothers and sisters. Every morning, Dr. Yong, you reminded us who you are and what we are, and we really understand our identity and our precious positions as your sons and daughters. We are so grateful, and by understanding your heart more and more closely every day through the truth revealed by true parents and divine principle, and living true parents, and the word by true father and true mother, and the current God's providence, we are starting more aware every day that importance of this time, the golden age, that only begotten daughter of God are here and still working hard, and we should every day understand the truth. The truth gave us free and will be a very liberated freedom that through the Dr. Yong's untruth. And also precious brothers and sisters, heavenly parents handpicked and gathered and paid so much price for each one of us to bring up here. And we can share our hearts, our love, and also our situation among brothers and sisters. Thank you for this wonderful holy community, wonderful opportunity. And we want to really expand to embrace everyone and want to invite everybody and also invite you and invite true parents here. We are so grateful this time, and please open our heart and mind to listen to your words, to listen to your love, and listen to your guidance through Dr. Yong. Thank you again. We offer this prayer and pray all our brothers and sisters' name and our name, Dan and Diane Kuwahara, bless and true family. Aju.
아주 땡큐 단 쿠하라상 감사합니다. 아리가또 고자이마스.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Don, for your prayer. Okay, family, let's now go into our breakout and share our appreciations this morning. See you back in a few minutes. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Hope you enjoyed your breakout. Yes, we're going to have a very special appreciation. But first, let me invite up Mrs. Noriko Tenepre. You would share your appreciation first.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Wilhelm. Good morning, Dr. Yong. Hi, Dr. Yong. Today my appreciation is Dr. Yong, I'm following you. I just also always do inreach to the members' houses, and so we try to do that in Fundonghae in the members' houses, because we are now so much gathering in the church, and we also don't know what the people doing. Then we try to do that in the Fundonghae in each family. Then we share it after that Fundonghae, after God's word, what we running on the what we doing in the each single day. So that's now starting to understand what the people's situation. That's the actually after that we do indeed. I'm so happy. I'm so happy God's working to us. But then also because of this indeed visiting the people, we saw also something very difficult family issue, like especially mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, and sister-in-law, brother-in-law, also husband-wife situation. It's so difficult, yes. Yeah, what the Dr. Yong was talking about. Then, but because of image, I try to also contact the people. Yeah, because of the in the family, they cannot talk to each other. But because of the another people try to involve in that problem, we can say. We can also guide into them. Also, they realize it like eventually. That's I'm so happy. And also, Dr. I starting the also Sunday school teacher in the church. I try to come to the church. Thank you so much.
Noriko-san,
Hi.
today you make up so beautiful. I love you. And Noriko-san, I feel that strongly. I feel that someday or sooner or later, we need to have official public mission. Now you're training. I think someday, I think you are such kind of the public mindset, and you are trying to do always for the public mission. I really love your beautiful dedication. Thank you so much, Noriko-san. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yong.
Yes, I totally agree, Noriko-san. You are walking joyful, absolute obedience. Really so wonderful. Okay, next we have a very special appreciation that Dr. Yong requested. So let me next invite up Reverend Inose to share his appreciation this morning and a special report. Reverend Inose. Unmute first, perhaps.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Dr. Yong, brothers and sisters. I'm so grateful to offer such a wonderful testimony yesterday. Tomomi Huda and Robert Abanos couple have a commitment ceremony. So I really feel Heavenly Parents, true parents, feel joy and happiness, and Heavenly Father's painful heart, suffering heart has liberated through this ceremony. So when I have honor to offer opening prayer at that time, so Heavenly Parents' spirit really come down to me. My physical body has started shaking. And I feel so much joy. And Heavenly Parents, this is a time, long time, you couldn't see such a beautiful scene. But now time has come. Please accept such a wonderful family. Those kind of feeling come. And also entire ceremony full of joy and happiness and hope. And also I realize, brothers and sisters, long time, sincere devotion can realize substantially through second generation matching blessing. and also our ancestors, long time, their heart also realizing, most importantly, heavenly parents and true parents dream can realize through yesterday's commitment ceremony. So when I offer prayer and think about Tomomi and Robert, so I can feel so much joyful heart, and also I cannot stop shedding tears with joy and happiness. And also yesterday was one of the very, very special turning point, historical day. So Dr. Yong and American movement opened the gate for new stage of second generation matching and commitment ceremony for future. Thank you so much, Dr. Yong. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Wonderful. Wow. Thank you very much.
이노세상 beautiful testimony. Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm crying now. I can see Robert in my screen too. Oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, well, again, congratulations to Robert and Tomomi. Yes, I know you both, and yes, I feel your tears, Dr. Yong and Reverend Inose. Let's bring more joy to God. All right, family, let's now welcome up Dr. Yong for our morning heart devotion.
안녕하세요. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? Just now, Inose-san said that, yeah, I really fully agree what he's talking about. Yesterday, I had an unforgettable and beautiful time at Belvedere. Yesterday, there was a commitment ceremony of Robert, how to say his name, Abel Dross, Tomomi Fukuda, and Belvedere in New York. And Pastor Crescentia was MC, and Reverend Randall, Olga, and Francis gave a beautiful testimony. And also, our president now, he's a busy guy, but he came and gave a beautiful message as well. I delivered congratulatory message, and both parents were so happy to attend the ceremony, and Tomomi's parents attended ceremony via Zoom from Japan, and I gave them a benediction. It was a beautiful engagement ceremony held in historic Belvedere, where true parents stayed. I am posting this material today in the hope that many blessed second and third generation will have an unforgettable and holy family start in their lives with the blessings of those around them. Yeah, this was a group photo, and yesterday engagement ceremony was one of the most beautiful and touching engagements I have ever seen. In the future, I hope that an engagement ceremony like this will become a model and be held in many churches every week. We look forward to continuing to promote this beautiful engagement culture going forward. Many people shed moving tears and joy. They are very, very beautiful couple. It's really beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? Today, I'd like to talk about holy birth and family history from True Mother Hakja Han Moon on Anthology Book 1. Heavenly Honey, please read.
I was born at 4:30 a.m. on the 6th day of the first lunar month in 1943 at 26 Shinuri, Anjuub, Anjugan, South Pyongan Province. When I was born, my maternal grandfather, Hong Yulil, asked those parents to take note of the time, making it possible to know exactly what time I was born. I have been told that at the time I was born, my father, Han Sung-an, had a dreamlike vision in which he saw a beautiful, bright sunshine beaming down through a thick forest of pine trees. In that forest, two cranes were dancing in harmony, so he named me Haksha. It was not a remote village, yet there was a hill and also a stream right behind my house. The surrounding village had a very warm and cozy feeling, like a hen embracing her chicks. In the backyard was a cornfield that my family harvested for food. I remember how big those corn cobs were. Father's hometown, Jeongju, and my hometown, Anju, are situated on either side of the same river and are about 30 kilometers apart. When we visited Jeongju in December 1991, we flew over Anju by helicopter, but the village I saw was completely different from how I had known it. There is now an apartment complex there. It has changed into more of an urban district than father's hometown of Jeongju has. My father, Han Sung-an, was a devout member of the New Jesus Church. He followed Pastor Lee Yong and Pastor Lee Hobin and lived a religious life together with Daemonim. They got married and he received a revelation that if they had a son, God would have a great purpose for him. However, a daughter was born. Hong Yuil, my maternal grandfather, was tall and handsome. When I first met True Father, he felt familiar to me because he looked so much like my grandfather. In those days, my grandfather was so open to modern trends that he even bought high-heeled shoes for his daughter-in-law. Jo Won Mo, my maternal grandmother, was petite and pretty. She was diligent and active. Although she was not well educated, she was very much a modern lady. She even operated her own business, selling and repairing sewing machines. Around the time of my birth, my mother ate some soup and then fell asleep. At that time, Satan, completely in black, appeared and said, "Through the birth of this child, I will come to ruin. That is why I am trying to get rid of this child." At that time, Daemonim fought strongly and won. When she woke up, her whole body was covered in sweat and her clothes were soaked. My grandmother Jo said, "You must be going through so much suffering to give birth to this child." That's how seriously Daemonim fought with Satan. Why do I tell you this? God's providence is profound and mysterious. During the final stages of the Second World War, Japan confiscated all the iron they could find in Korea and even took the brassware that is used for ancestral rites to make military weapons. However, those things would cross back again and accumulate in the yard of the house where I was born. What does this mean? This shows how urgent and desperate God's providence was. How desperate must God have been that such things would happen for the sake of a newborn baby?
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Next time, we will study more about the background of True Mother's birth. So sooner or later, I will prepare well, and then I can deliver to you True Mother's background. Living divine principle. Please read.
God is the subject and harmonious union of original internal nature and original external form. The harmonious union of original masculinity and original femininity. The subject partner having qualities of internal nature and masculinity towards the universe.
Yeah, thank you. Today, in the lecture series, Who is God? I will tell you that God is the God of absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience. And based on this lecture content, let's study Father's word.
God is the God of absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience. No matter how all-knowing and all-powerful God is, can he command a man and woman to be absolutely obedient to love? In order to be a fair and dignified God, who is our Father, he must be able to say, as I am absolutely obedient to true love, you also must be absolutely obedient to true love. Would it be acceptable for him to say, sons and daughters, you must be absolutely obedient to love, if he himself does not keep that same standard? Then the God who is in the position of teacher becomes the God of dictator. In the same way, God says, just as I have eternal absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience to true love, you sons and daughters also must have eternal obedience centered on true love. His sons and daughters will say, adieu. If we look at this from this point of view, even God must keep the principle of absolute obedience to true love.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. God has absolute faith in the principle of true love and the principle of creation that he created. When God created a light, he said, let there be light. And there was a light. When God created light, did he doubt that light would really appear when he said, let there be light? God has an absolute faith in principle of creation. He absolutely believes that not only whole universe, but also all things move according to his principle of creation. And even though human beings fell, God has absolute faith that at some point, all of them someday will become his children. He has absolute faith towards human being. If God did not have this belief in fallen human being, he would never have been able to conduct the providence of restoration. He has absolute faith that at any time, anyone without exception will become true children, become true brothers and sisters, become true couples, and become true parents who achieve the ideal of heaven. God has absolute faith that one day for certain, his dream will come true. The sovereignty of evil will disappear, becoming heaven on earth, and the kingdom of heaven will come. This is really amazing. Even though I am fallen man, he has absolute faith toward my original mind. Even though you are fallen man, but your relationship with me, parents and child, someday, definitely you will become my son. Someday, you will come back to my bosom. God has absolute faith. Otherwise, how can carry on his providence of restoration? It is impossible. God has absolute love for humans. Although humans have fallen and now children of Satan, God absolutely loves human because they have a parent and child relationship on the original creation. God never gives up on any human being, even if they are God's enemy and loves them. No, God. Sorry, I cannot say. God never gives up on human beings, even if they are God's enemy and loves them forever. In that respect, God's unrequited love for you remain unchanged forever. God has absolute love for you. God's love for human cannot really be imagined, even for fallen human beings. No matter what happened to a fallen human being, God as a parent can say, I'm responsible for you forever. I protect you forever. I will continue to raise you until you reach completion. He has that kind of absolute love. Oh my God. God has that kind of absolute love toward me. No matter what, I will love my child. No matter what, I will protect him. I will raise up him. I will be responsible for him. God has that kind of absolute love toward each one of the human beings. Otherwise, how can he carry on his providence of restoration? It is impossible. Next, God is absolutely obedient to the truth of true love. For example, love comes from the other person. Love is living for the sake of others first. Love is giving first. True love always requires sacrifice. True love invests 100% in other person and forget about it. True love investing and forgetting until the other person is better than me. God is absolutely obedient to this kind of truth. God obey and practice this truth first. That's why, my brothers and sisters, and true Father asks us to have absolute faith, absolute love, absolute obedience. However, God is the one who he practiced first his absolute faith, his absolute love, and his absolute obedience. True Father, true Mother, our true parents, they are the one who practice first absolute faith, absolute love, absolute obedience. Therefore, we are the children of God. We need to resemble our heavenly parents, that kind of faith, that kind of love, that kind of the obedience. Many people do not understand, oh, God has absolute obedience. Oh. Yes, he obeyed to his principle. He obeyed to his principle of creation. He obeyed to the principle of true love. Absolutely. This is really amazing guidance by our true Father. Today's youth ministry, again, Joseph's course. Do you love Joseph? I really love this guy. Really, one of the great exemplary. Through Joseph's course, I really feel that he's like our true Father. He really showed as the exemplary life how to overcome any difficulties. And today, my title is Joseph Who Lived for Others in Prison. Let's just study from the Bible verse first, his story.
Okay, Genesis chapter 39, verses 1 to 23, Joseph and Potiphar's wife. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and all that he owned, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptian because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field. So Potiphar left everything he had in Joseph's care. With Joseph in charge, he did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. Now Joseph was well built and handsome, and after a while, his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, "Come to bed with me." But he refused. "With me in charge," he told her, "my master does not concern himself with anything in the house. Everything he owns, he has entrusted to my care. No one is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" And though she spoke to Joseph day after day, he refused to go to bed with her or even be with her. One day he went into the house to attend to his duties, and none of the household servants was inside. She caught him by his cloak and said, "Come to bed with me." But he left his cloak in her hand and ran out of the house. When she saw that he had left his cloak in her hand and had run out of the house, she called her household servants. "Look," she said to them, "this Hebrew has been brought to us to make sport of us. He came in here to sleep with me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream for help, he left his cloak beside me and ran out of the house." She kept his cloak beside her until his master came home. Then she told him this story. "That Hebrew slave you brought us came to me to make sport of me. But as soon as I screamed for help, he left his cloak beside me and ran out of the house." When his master heard the story, his wife told him, saying, "This is how your slave treated me." He burned with anger. Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. But while Joseph was there in the prison, the Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. The warden paid no attention to anything under Joseph's care because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. My brothers and sisters, Joseph who lived for others in prison. When Joseph entered Egypt, he stayed in Potiphar's house for about 2 to 3 years. And including prison life, he spent about 14 years there. In the second year of the staying at Potiphar's house, Joseph was tempted by Potiphar's wife. So even our lives of faith, when we make our first resolution and face the number 2, we must always be aware of horizontal temptations. When I make a resolution to do something, Satan's temptations will always come. There will also be many trials and tribulations. I really admire Joseph's quality of his blood lineage. He does not know what the fault of man. How he could overcome that kind of really temptation from Potiphar's wife. And the Potiphar's wife tempted him, not just only one day, according to the Bible, every day tempted him. Wow. In order to overcome that kind of a chapter 2 temptation, your blood lineage, something have to be different. Something have to be different. Otherwise, most of them could not overcome that kind of temptation. So, when I see our ancestors, some of a righteous guy, those who overcame chapter 2 temptation, they are something different. They had a different spiritual background and ancestor background. Really something different. Otherwise, how they overcome that kind of chapter 2 temptation. That's why, not just only chapter 2 temptation, whenever we make up our mind to do something, always in the beginning, you are strong, your motivation. However, on the way, when you face the number 2, like a second month and second year, and always trial come, horizontal temptation will come to you. That's why anyone join our movement, and you have to be careful. First year, you do not know anything, just only follow. But become the second year, and then many horizontal temptation come to you, especially chapter 2 temptation. And many people, leave church because of could not overcome the number 2, chapter 2 temptation. When Joseph spending more than 10 years in prison, wherever he went, he became the center of harmony and the solver to everyone's problems. He has always been a center of comfort for others. Because Joseph always lived for others in the prison life, where he would have no choice to despair, he was able to lead a gracious life. Joseph's life provides a model for how to overcome difficult trials and tribulation in any environment. That's why Joseph has a different quality of the blood lineage. How come he spent, I think, more than 10 years in prison without any complaining, without any dissatisfaction? He was so well. He thinks that my life of prison here, there is a meaning. This is God's will. I need to do something here. This is my course, my destiny, God's will. And then he really serving the people, loving people, caring people. That's why he became the center of the harmony. And here he became the solver to everyone's problem. He always comfort people, living for others. Wow, when I look at Joseph's life of the prison, I think about our beloved true Father. How he could overcome such a kind of incredible trials in Hungnam prison, Sodemon prison, everywhere. Wow. I really love Joseph. I really love our true Father. How he could overcome. Since Joseph was serving others, he had many things to do even in prison. Of course, he must have met a lot of bad people as well. But on the other hand, we can easily assume that he must have met people who felt unjust and people with worries and concerns. He gave wisdom to those who were brought in because they did not know how to properly distinguish between good and evil and suggested, countermeasures. Because he loved and lived for each and every prisoner, the spirit world gave him the power of, prophecy. And everything become as Joseph had said. It is really amazing. Today, we believers must be like Joseph. He adapts well to any environment, even in situations where he had no choice but to suffer injustice and dissatisfaction. He was so grateful to take care of those around him like his own brothers, and genuinely cared about their future. So he had to be able to see the future about them even further, have the ability to predict people's futures. How can we see someone's future and predict that person's future? It is taught by the spiritual world to truly love and respect that person from the perspective of our parents. When anyone truly loves a person, His heart and his future can be seen. Love sees everything. When you love, you see God. When you see your partner, when you see nature and you see everything. It cannot be seen because I do not love. This is the key point. If anyone truly loves everything, his eyes will be open spiritually. So the Father says that you can even see God. So love is everything. Why I cannot read my wife's heart? Why I cannot read my husband's heart? Why I cannot read my children's heart? Why I cannot read my parents' heart? Why I cannot read Heavenly Father's heart? Because you don't have love. When you truly love your wife, you can read your wife's mind. When you truly love your children, you can read your children's heart and mind. When you truly love your parents, you can read your parents' heart and mind. Why we cannot feel God? Why we cannot see God, my brothers and sisters? We don't have a heart toward God. That's why love is key. Love is everything. No need to talking about the skill matter. No need to talking about the means and method. How to know that? How can see that their personal future? I am telling you, love is everything. If you really love something, your spiritual eye open, can see God, can see someone's heart, you can see someone's future. Why many people say, oh, Father is spiritually open, you know. I'm so scared in front of him. Do you know how he can see someone's future? How he opens spiritually? Because he loves human being. That's why spiritually open. You can see someone's future as well. If you continuously doing such bad things, your future will be something like this. Wow. No need to talk about much skill. No need to talk about much, the way, what to do. Love is the key. Love is everything. If a person who believes is discouraged, they will fail, and it is easier to become worse than a person who does not believe. If we always try to bring others joy and live for the sake of others, even in unjust circumstances, just as Joseph's heart was always bright, our life of faith will also become brighter, even though he was in prison. His main focal point, how can I help others? How can I make joy and happiness for others? He truly lived for the sake of others. That's why even though more than 10 years in the prison, time passed very quickly. He did not think after get out from the prison, how to live, what to do. He would just complain and complain and complain. Oh, why God put me in this kind of terrible place in prison, When can I get out from the prison? Oh my God, why my life is like that? Why God gave me this kind of suffering and uneasy situation? He complained and complained like that. How he can overcome? What's the best way to survive in prison? Truly love that environment. Truly love his colleagues. Never complain. Wow. Joseph is a great guy. When anyone is full of public thoughts, private worries and concerns do not arise. God is with us in public worries and concerns. However, private worries and concerns build up stress and then demoralize oneself. Although Joseph went to the prison as a criminal, his life was much more for others than himself. And he became so needed by those around him that he became like a public official working in the prison, become the center of that prison. That's why one who truly live for others, you can become center. You can become center that area. In your church, truly live for others more than any other one. You can become center of that church. Among family members, you love each one of the family members in your family. You can become center in your family. When a person becomes someone needed by people, anywhere they go, they immediately settle in. So wherever we go, there are people who are needed. People who don't really matter if they are there or not, and people who are not needed. A person who lives for others like this and has a public achievement always possesses a good heavenly fortune. So there are many people who want to help him. Why don't people around me live for the sake of me or help me? It is because there are no actual results of living for the sake of others. So the spirit world does not work with me. Therefore, one must become a person with the actual result of love. People have the actual result of love, have the spirit world, mobilize the people, owners to help me. You know, through Father, he was in Hunnan prison. It was a terrible situation. However, spiritual world, ancestors mobilize other prisoners. Whenever they have food, ask them to give to Reverend Moon. Yeah, one who recognized by spiritual world, ancestor because of the achievement of true love, because he or she live for the sake of others, always heavenly fortune follow him. One who living for the sake of others, I am telling you, heavenly fortune always follow you, protect you. You never die, you never decrease. Just with the fact that true parents in Korea, the Korean members believe that heavenly fortune would come to Korea. Why is that? It is because true parents have brought actual result of touching all people in heaven on earth. And it is because they know that wherever true parents go, God is with them and there is a heavenly protection. People with the public achievement have a different atmosphere wherever they go. In Korea, it is believed that fortune comes to families who take good care of their grandfathers and grandmothers. This is because there is a filial heart that serves and loves the elderly. So they believe that heaven will protect the family. I am telling you, in the family. That's why Father asks us to 4 generations, 3 generations living together. As your children, as your grandchildren, really take care of your grandparents very, very well. As your child, you take care and attend your parents well. I am telling you, guarantee. Heavenly fortune always in that family. God protect that family. That's why one who have the filial heart, filial piety, always protect that person. And he's the one who always carry on heavenly fortune. Many people do not know this is a top secret. Many people do not know filial piety bring heavenly fortune. Many people do not know this is a top secret, okay? This is a top secret. Living for the sake of others, always bring heavenly fortune. For those who lead a private life, the path of the death blocks the way. But for those who public achievement like Joseph, even if they enter the harsh prison, he wrote ahead is open. A public mind is one that always serves and live with God and live for the sake of others. Therefore, if we also live with a public mind, a road will open wherever we go. Just as it says that in the family place, blessed family must always have or always know how to convey heaven's blessing to our communities. Those who have actual results of living for God and others always bring heavenly fortune. For a person to become successful person, he must always carry this kind of a heavenly fortune with him. My dear brothers and sisters, as Joseph lived his life with attachment to public purposes, he felt that worthiness wherever he went. We must become believers who, wherever we go, receive recognition to a point that we cannot be absent. Then, wherever I go, I quickly settle in. If I serve God and live for the sake of those around me, my life will soon take root and settle in. What's the conclusion? Joseph who lived for the sake of others in prison. One who lived for the sake of others. One who truly loved for others. I am telling you, heavenly fortune always follow that person. In the family, how to bring heavenly fortune? One who truly love their parents. One who truly love their grandparents. This is the way how to receive heavenly fortune. My brothers and sisters, Joseph, he knows the top secret. How to survive. How to liberate. It is an incredible lesson from Joseph. Thank you very much.
I don't think anyone has been able to relate to these biblical figures as much as you have. So I think we'll expect a lot of donation today, a lot of blessing. Thank you. Let's now go into our breakouts and share our reflections with one another. See you back soon. Welcome back, family. Hope you enjoyed your breakout. Ooh, all right. To share first, let me invite up Mr. and Mrs. Rodney and Susan Edwards. Let's see. Unmute, please.
Yeah, when I first joined the church, I know the struggles. My brothers and sisters were already in the church. I had the responsibility to help support them and to love them and to care for them. So always doing that. And also in New York City, I was working for the news world in the mailroom. And people were always coming to the mailroom to get advice from me, guidance and support and advice and praying together sometimes. So I can relate to the story very much. A lot of part of my life in the church, I was trying to help people stay in the church. And once I had an incident where the sister getting a really hard time was in Korea. I really don't want to see her again, but we ran into each other in the elevator. So Rodney, I want to apologize to you for giving you such a hard time. But I said, don't worry, we have true parents. I said, Rodney, if I could feel the true parents, my real parents, it'd be all the world to me. I said, why don't you pray before you go to bed, like God will send you to true parents, to true parents to you. And the next day I saw this radiating. He said, Rodney, because true parents came to me last night in a dream. And true father said, he gave me a character analysis evaluation. And true father said, look, I'm your mother. Come to me whenever you need me. I'm here for you. And does have experience with brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Support and guide.
Thank you, Rodney. And about Sujan.
Hello, thank you very much, Dr. Yong. Good to see you.
Yeah, me
Thank you
too.
very much, Johan, for giving us this opportunity to be here. I am so inspired about how you talk about Joseph's course, because I read in the Old Testament so many times this story, and I never got this kind of insight. That every place he goes, he serves and he's grateful, just like true father. I never saw that in Joseph. I could read another 100 times and I would never think like that, you know. But you have this insight, and now I could use it for my home church area. Wherever I go, I'm gonna give more. I don't give enough, so I have to go out there and give more love, and then forget my code and just go out there and just serve those people and love those people. And when I do the substitute teaching, I go in there and I just love everybody, but I have to love more. I have to do more. And you help me so much every time. I have a realization because you see deeply this thing. So that's why I come to some morning service, because you have this kind of insight. Continue to help me. And maybe I will become a better person. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Susan.
감사합니다.
Your inner and beautiful sharing. Thank you, Rati and Sujan.
Yeah, my Rodney
God
too.
bless you. Thank you.
I have to serve him more too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Young. I don't express enough gratitude towards you, Dr. Young. I'm deeply grateful for all your sacrifice. I know you're sacrificing your family for our sake and for our benefit.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I never show enough appreciation for you, but I really appreciate you very much.
And we listen to your wife too.
My wife,
Never miss. Don't miss it.
Yeah, thank you.
you sure I love you. Thank you.
You know, it really was a beautiful sharing we just had. And really, it's Dr. Yong, yeah, your love for us is really spilling over into the world, you know, and I know, I like your testimony, Uncle Rodney, about working in the mailroom in the New Yorker building at the time, and just continuing to lead and love people there. I think the mailroom may resemble a prison. And then, you know, even Susan, you know, your testimony about a classroom can resemble a prison too, you know. So really it's important to find God in those situations and love people no matter what. So thank you. And to share next, let me invite Mrs. Yuko Maskiotra. Welcome back.
Morning. I don't know what's spiritual connection with Myohan. Anyway, I'm grateful to share. at first, I was very happy and inspired to see Tomomi and Robert's commitment ceremony. And usually it's a family level to celebrate the commitment ceremony, but I see this like whole community celebrate their commitment here. So I was very happy and moved to see their future. And also like I'm not familiar for Bible story. So I'm very grateful to know about the story of Joseph and just really remind true father's life course and how difficult Joseph was tempted by a woman so many times, and but he was able to overcome. That also really reminds how difficult for true father's life goes. And thank you for Dr. Yong. You told me filial piety is key to bring happiness. So it's really, thank you so much.
Heavenly fortune as well. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you.
마스 시오트라 감사합니다. Thank
Thank you.
you. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you, Kusam. Okay, family, let's now have some reminders. Number one, please invite someone to the Zoom call and to morning devotion. I'm pretty sure they'll thank you for it. And number two is to joyfully give from your heart. As Dr. Yong mentioned, some top secrets today. I think it warrants a prayer and possibly a gift to back to God for more blessing. I just want to have one more word here. I learned that Reverend Gilbert Starr is possibly going into the ICU for COVID.
Oh my
God. Osmarina and Zenas also have it. So if you would keep them in your prayers, I think I do see Reverend Starr as somewhat of a modern day Joseph. So I hope we can really keep him in our prayers. Okay, full recovery. And also, this is my last day for this round of emceeing. So we're going to welcome up Yasu Ozawa starting tomorrow. So as always, love him up and let's continue having such a great experience here. For our musical offering, we have Mr. Manuel Liba. Oh, I'm sorry, not anyway, yeah, Mr. Liba family.
Dr. Yong Song Shik and brothers and sisters, good morning there.
Wow, Libra, thank you for
Yes.
the offering song.
Yes, I like to sing a song from North Korea today, and the title is 험난한 풍파너머 다시 만나네.
Wow.
That song highlights really like a deep longing to meet again after like long time no see. 헤어져 긴긴 세월 눈물 속에서 서로 애타게 부르던 형제 꿈결에도 잠결에도 그리우더니 험난한 풍파 넘어 다시 만나네. 달 밝은 언달이 밝아 더욱 그립고 눈 내리며 눈이 내려 보고 싶어네. 저리 다양 낯선 길을 헤매일 때 한심들 잊었으랴 정든 나의 집 사랑하는 어머니가 살아 계시면 오늘의 이 기쁨을 같이 나누리. Thank you.
Wow, I never hear that Korean song, but when just now, when I hear your, song, are really very, very deep, longing heart for parents. Really, wow, they're very, very touching and beautiful. I have really all of a sudden more longing heart for our true parents. Thank you so much, Manuel Liva. 감사합니다.
Yeah, that's very, very touching. Thank you, Uncle Manuel. To close out with prayer, let me invite up Reverend Sebastian Kramer to pray for us.
Here we go. Our loving Heavenly Parent, we pray in gratitude to you who has been with us in every moment of our lives, and today, this morning, making Reverend Innocent shake with joy yesterday. It's so beautiful. Thank you for the spirit world is coming down and assisting all the brothers and sisters like Rodney and Milhan and Yasu tomorrow, and it's amazing. Congratulations to Robert and Tomomi-san. So grateful for those families from Japan, from the United States, and so grateful to be with all our brothers and sisters this morning on this special day, Sunday, with Naokimi-san giving a sermon. Bless him with your heart and love as you embrace him. Such a serious young man. Wonderful. Hallelujah. So grateful for each one of our brothers and sisters everywhere and on this globe. Please take this earth and embrace it. You have been doing that and with all these sons and daughters all these years, in all these places, in all those wars. You were there with each one of them. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for your love. Thank you for Dr. Yong, who is the catalyst, opening up his presence, is catalyzing our movement here in the United States and all the incredible investments that true parents have made around the world, catalyzing it to a heavenly chemical reaction. I pray that your territory can expand quickly, a Cheongguk in every home, in every home church area, in every city, in every state, in every country, every continent, Heavenly Parent, every place in between, even up in the space station. Pray that the people up there can listen to morning devotion when they start their day in this space station. I'm sorry, Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for all your love, and I pray this together with brothers and sisters as we offer this morning to you and to our true parents and to all the work and the true love that you have been obedient to. Let us make this the center again as you have shown us, and we pray this together with everybody, Meredith, Sebastian, Meredith and Katie, who are my blessed and the family. Adieu.
Adieu. Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Sebastian. You are forever young, guys. Your spirit and your power, always very, very young. I miss you so much. Thank you so much. Please take care. 감사합니다, Sebastian.
Bear hug, Reverend Dr. Young and everybody else. Bear hug. Bear hug.
Thank you so much.
Here, Mr. Sebastian, I secretly love your prayer the most. And yeah, family, keep your candles lit. Our time is coming. And yeah, let's really usher in this new age of great blessing and proclamation of our true parents on the earth. Okay, let's now have a wonderful day. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy Reverend Kimi's sermon, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a nice day, my brothers and sisters. Thank you. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yong.